Green, 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 yellow. No, fuck off. Sorry, whatever. I'm doing a video. He always calls. I'm not gay. Okay, anyways, want to explain my experience, one of the most powerful experiences of my life, among the passing of my mother and my father and my brother, due to self-inflicted damage, due to his ability to get a gun in Florida very easily, and a 12-pack of beer, or maybe it was a 6, and drive down 10 miles down the road and blow himself away in the wrong way. Sternum, don't do it, boys and girls. Don't commit suicide. It'll be the biggest mistake in your life, but it's your life. I'm telling you, from someone who's had his head in the noose, whatever. Anyways, I was working for a company called, it was a hospice, because I was I was depressed, and I thought, I dealt with care thing. I've seen a lot, spent a lot of time in hospitals, and, I was at that point ready or whatever. And then I found it very intriguing, and it was a hospice that was kind of different than the normal hospice. It's called Care Alternatives of Boston, when we would do things like my boss, who I can't remember her name, I want to get in touch with her. Please get in touch with me. I need the reference. Um, but had many interesting experiences, like going up to the fourth floor of this nursing home, which is really for the late stage Alzheimer and dementia um, patients. And it was really like a kid's party if they were old and insane. But we had fun in a way. And I mean, I was kind of, at that point having, a very, very close friend of mine, David Jameson, pass away from AIDS, and seeing the discrepancy in care that he received as a minority, whatever. He was the greatest artist I've ever met. And my mother, paradoxically and ironically, and some other words that I'm not saying, was passing away in NIH, which is the place where the American politicians bring, foreign diplomats to see how great the failing healthcare. This is not the subject, right? Whatever. So yeah, I mean, this demented woman, she was just far out. She hadn't said anything, and she was like, I was just kind of like going with my flowing or whatever, and I just like, she was like grabbing my hands, like, yeah, what's up, cool. And she's like, you have the most beautiful hands. I was like, what? And my friend said, wow, she really likes you. She doesn't open up like that much. And I was like, wow. And then we would like, after that, she would recognize me, which was also, she was late stage Alzheimer's. Go Google it. And she was so sweet, because she would be like, smile, and then I would sing, like, let's sing, and it was quite profound. And also we would travel around from different nursing homes, and usually on the North Shore of Boston. And one afternoon we would go and massage old ladies' hands with essential oils and stuff, and it was like the highlight of the week. And it's ironic because I used to come to my mother in her bedside before she passed away and massage her feet every day, and we were very, very, very close, my mother and I. I mean, I was the youngest, and that's another video or story or whatever. But anyways, I wanted to tell you about the time when an old man died in my arms. I was ready for it. And I was in tune at that moment, perhaps because I have bipolar disorder, mild, 1.5, whatever, go Google it. And I could feel a shift in the energy of the room while I was talking to his roommate, who was like this dude, Fred, that was like a old, he was a piano teacher. He lived down the road 5 miles, and we would talk most of the time about everything, but why his daughters thought and son-in-law thought it was necessary to put him in a home, blah, blah, blah. And one of his things was like, all my roommates keep dying on me, maybe the nursing home had some insidious Hitchcockian situation, whatever. And this guy that I was, he was to be in my care or under our care of care alternatives. He, I forget his name. I think I don't know, Frank and Fred or something. And I said, "Hold on, Fred. I'm just gonna go see Frank because Frank had adopted two mentally challenged children, and they didn't think that they were strong enough to be there, and there was no family other than them. And we tried to be there. He had been in a coma for 2 weeks. Really I hadn't talked to him, hadn't said anything, but I felt a shift in the energy of the room, and I was like, Fred, hold on a sec. I went over and I could see some agitation or something, and I was like, dude, not in these words. I was like, it's okay. Your children are taken care of. It's okay to let go, because he had to. He was basically just waiting to die. They weren't feeding him. I don't know if he was sick. I don't know. There just needed to be somebody on, usually hospice is just like hanging out with the family and being, I have a guitar and come and amuse them or take their mind off their tragic situation. Capiche? So I went over to whichever it was, the man under my care, and I put my arm under his shoulders, kind of, and I put my hand on his chest, and I said, it's okay, you're protected. And I said a Christian prayer and a couple of Hindu prayers. I said, you can let go, your family's taken care of. And then a single tear just rolled down his eye, and he just went. I was like, whoa. Because normally when somebody stops breathing, you should probably call the doctor. But this guy had to die, and, they just wanted somebody to be with him, and it was like an honor to see his spirit unsheathed from his bodily, okay, I'm a yoga teacher, Akananda Yoga, whatever, Rishikesh, Yogi Vishwaketa, got you, babe. And so I just sat there, kind of holding him, crying in a way, and just wondering about how profound and kind of strange yet, coincidentally perfect or something. I can't really describe it, but I just sat there and I was like, and Fred was looking at us like, what's up? I was like, dude, another one of your roommates just died. And he was like, oh, fuck. He took a wheelchair. Oh, fuck. And then I went to the nurse's station and I said, I think Mr. Blah just died. And they were like, really? Because, I knew he was dead, but I guess I should have just closed his eyes or whatever. They did it. And they were all so happy that someone was there, caring and loving. It was very profound. It was the most profound. It probably is. But I've had a lot of profound experiences. Reading my book that's yet to be written. And then I kind of said a eulogy at his funeral. And I didn't have to go to the graveside, but, I told them I was there when he died. And, I met his two mentally challenged children, which I think actually they should have been there. I think they could have handled it. But anyways, if I could have corralled them, but whatever. I'm kind of an expert on hospital stuff. And yeah, it was profoundly, I'm kind of hard to describe, but it was an honor that I could give them the people at the funeral, some like closure, and I felt like less depressed. It was the beginning of my recovery. I'm a little bit manic depressive. Don't worry, guys. It's a roller coaster, so it's it's fun if you survive it in a way. And luckily I'm in Serbia, Belgrade, and They can't get at me if I say crazy things. Thanks, Serbia. I love you. Belgrade is such a cool city. Anyways, that's when an old man died in my arms and changed the course of my happiness. Okay, peace on earth and love. I gotta go and smoke a cigarette. I got some nicotine gum. Anyways, Om Hanumate Namaha. Om Bhurbuva Suvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Demahi Dio Yona Prachoriat. That's the Gayatri mantra recommended by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So if you're interested, go Google yourself. I love you out there, and I hate you a bit too, but that's the same for myself. Inshallah, peace to all people, creed, color, and to lizards and bacteria. Goodbye.